Hey, so, I'm new here. I've never done full-time content creation before. Alright, so I don't necessarily know how to start this video. After all, I did say I was new here. But might as well start off by saying, boy oh boy. Do I hate perfection, the natural selection. Honestly, he's just a stuck-up, prideful, and inconsiderate jerk who thinks he's better than everyone and think we actually claim him as a Dragon Ball fan. So because I hate him so much, I might as well make some sort of rant video about him. I don't know. To start off strong, I don't know what's up with this upside-down carrot, but he seems to have a grudge growing farther than the power pole can extend regarding Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And frankly, I love the game. It's a good game. Here's footage of me beating Super Saiyan Gogeta's head in and tearing him a new one bigger than the Grand Canyon. But like I said, he really hates this game. For stupid reason. Let's start off simple with his takes regarding the roster and how he thinks it's a pretty bad roster.
Know as well as I that these are going to be the characters that get revealed in the final trailer. And then you can commence to hating this pathetic game for having no GT, no OG Dragon Ball, right? No OG Dragon Ball, and no Z movie characters.
Alright, so let me just get it out the way. This is a crazy wrong prediction. This really didn't age well. Not only did the roster extend from 164 characters to the now 182 characters, we filled in enough room for those GT and Sagas from the Z movies characters that he swore up and down we wouldn't get. We even got Goku from Dragon Ball. This is a stupid take. But maybe I'm digging a little too deep, alright? Maybe his roster hate is justified. What could we have done to improve this roster, Perfection?
And a hop, skip, and a jump for them to put her in there too to pad out the roster. But no, they couldn't put anything cool like Chi-Lai or Kaket or Helene or Fasha or Zarya in the game. Nah, it had to be Rosie.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's pervert incarnate. So he's constantly fiending over these female characters that either A, simply no one cares about and no one will care about, or B, have no fight scenes on screen to where you can make them a proper moveset, or just barely any screen time at all. I'm pretty sure in this being that he's just a pathetic and lonely loser. If that's not the case, I don't get it either. But look, all I gotta say is you gotta stop fiending, alright? This is why I drew your character pregnant. Moving on, Charlotte from Dragon Ball Legends was recently added to Sparking Zero, which is quite good. I like Dragon Ball Legends. But here comes Big Bad Perfection about to dog walk on you because you said something he doesn't agree with.
Up right now. You're getting hyped over a character with full power energy wave Deuce on his ultimate and his super.
Okay, bit of ignorance. The movie's called Wild Cannon, and it's his special arts card in game. The ultimate is the Rising Rush, and the reason it plays the animation for Wild Cannon is because if the person you're rushing doesn't guess the card you picked, everyone in your team activates the special arts card to sort of end off the rush. The implication that you've never heard of any of these things is insanity. But it's whatever. Most people probably have better things to do than play Dragon Ball Legends. What else do you hate about this character?
But not only that, but they copy and paste it with this character. And I know all these other channels are gonna pretend like they didn't see it, but Perfection is here to tell you the truth. You look at his Rush Super. They literally just copy and pasted Super Saiyan Goku's Rush Super from Namek. And then they also copy and pasted Super Vegeta's Rush Super that he did on Semi-Perfect Cell. just mashed them together into one.
Okay, this is just pure ignorance at this point. I simply can't let this slide. Charlotte is known for copying and pasting moves. You see, in Dragon Ball Legends, you can change Charlotte's blue card to be the blue cards of other characters. So you can make Charlotte perform an, I don't know, Galactic Buster or something. This is what he's doing, copying and pasting the moves like he does in the mobile game. How do you expect us to call you the end game of all games when you simply don't even play games? But you'd think, given his attitude towards Sparking Zero, that he doesn't even like Dragon Ball and is just claiming to be a fan. Well, surprisingly, no. He's practically in a romantic relationship with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. What, you don't believe me?
Sparking trash! Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 DLC 17, Future Saga Pack DLC 18, whatever you want to call it, just beat Sparking Zero in one Dragon Ball game of the year.
Holy God. I get Xenoverse 2 is a good game to you and all. Hell, it's a pretty good game to me. But this glazing is completely nonsensical. I don't talk about Xenoverse 2 like this. We're just overlooking the fact that this should have been in the base roster, and it took them nearly 8 years. Wait, no, it wasn't the Xenoverse 1, so nearly 9 years to put it in the game. You're getting this hyped over a DLC character that should have been a day one. Besides, I thought you said this DLC was a scam. What changed? And by the way, I'm not done with talking about it. He just keeps on glazing this game for no apparent reason.
Let them get their little tournament or whatever they're having, but we got to make our money, and we're coming back to Xenoverse 2. They have acknowledged the fall off of Sparking Zero, and now it's time to get back to the greatness, the goodness, that good content that is Xenoverse 2.
Choosing one of the worst DLCs in the game to crap on Sparking Zero could only be done by this guy. Because I don't know if I'm the first to say this, but the Future Saga Pack 2 DLC was not at all better than Sparking Zero. You only got 3 new characters, in which, number 1, the Ultra Supervillain Jiren shouldn't be counted as a new character, it's just a slightly recolored Jiren with a crystal in him, and number 2, one of them is already in Sparking Zero. This DLC is grim, but since it's Xenoverse 2, somehow, it's better than Sparking Zero in its entirety. The Xenoverse bias is crazy. Okay, I've talked about that to death. I've had enough. Besides, I have more to talk about. Because I'm a D1 hater. And if I don't D1 hate, who am I? But what I want to talk about now is that little mascot of his. So it's important to note that this character is supposed to be a member of the Hera clan race. It's to be noted because this guy clearly doesn't know boosh about making one. This character is a member of a race of space pirates, so I want to discuss the fact that he's entirely devoid of anything having to do with any kind of pirate whatsoever. Why is he a pride trooper considering the stuff this dude managed to pull off, which is exactly what we'll get into later. They wouldn't even let him in the group for even a nanosecond. Not to mention the little fact that I don't know what form he's in. Lime green skin tells me it's the full power form with the orange hair. The orange hair is from the base form. You can't just be in both states, dude. It's either or. I wish there was an explanation to this mistake, but that's not even explained in the crappy backstory video he posted. Speaking of his backstory, yeah, it's horrendous. Why don't we start with who is this character? Well, his name is Lord Paragon, and to make things easier for myself, I might as well just call Perfection Paragon for the rest of the video. His whole shtick is that he has a literal harem of women, comprising fictional characters to even other people's OCs. Now that we've briefly touched upon that, I'm just gonna make a disclaimer before I start this pile of manure that he calls a backstory. down to a T, I am gonna tell this story exactly as he says it goes, and I am making none of what I say up. Now we begin. He's the son of Bojack and a female Saiyan named Gine, who also happens to be Goku's mother. Anyways, Paragon is apparently no joke. He's apparently the big bad wolf of this universe. He's said to be stronger than the god of destruction, Lord Beerus, in his infancy. Related to the main character, stronger than some of the most powerful in the series. Why does it sound like there's a name for that? Moving on. This literal infant has the other gods and the angels so worried that they have to repo the baby out of fear. And so the Grand Priest adopts him, he goes on to the Grand Priest training, and eventually he grows stronger than the Grand Priest. Huh. Must have been the wind. Anyways, oh god.
Paragon would go on to be involved in a romance with the thick Vados, to which the Grand Priest happily approved.
That's your sister. Well, she's the adoptive father's daughter, so... Yeah, Vados and Paragon are step-siblings. Are we seriously trying to get incestual here, Paragon? Let's just move on. I'm gonna get a headache getting this video. So anyways, the Supreme Kai of Universe 9 gets so jealous of Paragon's endeavors that he just snitches on the Grand Priest and all the other gods. He basically tells Paragon that his real father is Bojack, and that he's been sealed away in King Kai's planet. This information makes Paragon throw a hissy fit and destroy 6 of the 18 universes, which basically tells the gods they need to put that boy down. And so these gods act when... Oh my god!
Vados and Paragon were in the throes of
Dude! That is your sister! And if you think Paragon porking his literal sister wasn't bad enough, the Supreme Kais, the gods of destruction, and the angels literally catch him lacking. Again, I have to make it crystal clear. I am making none of this up. So to close this story off, he's sealed into the dead zone, never to be heard from again. Until Goku attains the Super Saiyan God transformation. That happens to break the seal to the dead zone. The end of story. Okay, so first of all, this seems like the obvious question, but why? What was the incest side plot for? What do you mean he destroys universes in his rage? In what world would Vados be okay with him committing mass genocide? There are so many unanswered questions this video accrues, but even if those questions were all answered, the answers would raise even more questions. Second of all, I would like to put that on my life, that he is not that big of a problem. Considering the fact, well, first of all, he's not getting past Krillin, but considering the fact that Grand Zeno is still the strongest in the multiverse and that Paragon is never explicitly stated to surpass him, I don't understand why the gods practically piss themselves in fear. Say what you want, but Paragon isn't getting past existence erasure. Frankly, sealing him into the dead zone was an unnecessary move. Those universes can be restored as well, he's a literal nothing burger. But I want to get into the real meat and potatoes of this here guy Paragon, right? Meat and potatoes such as, say perfection. I hear you like 'em young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But Nickel Dude Man, bro, you can't just go around throwing baseless accusations. That's bad in 2025. I thought you said nothing was made up. What changed? Well, viewer, I can hear out the thought you're contemplating, which is why I say no worries, we have evidence against him. That way we can all reach a general consensus about this here Paragon guy being a pedophile. But, with that said, yeah, this guy's a pedophile. I don't know how else to tell you. I mean, with a guy that says stuff like,
The base of their operations is at a freaking high school, but they're a bunch of 1,000-year-old succubuses and demons.
it's only natural that there's a bit of questions raised. So you see, back when a user named Charlie was 14, Paragon would make weird, possibly even sexual comments towards her in a sort of father-daughter fetish kink. He's also made these wonderful messages on screen, in which, yeah, they may have a possibility of being edited or faked, but it's egregiously outweighed by the real, possibly even worse evidence against this guy. Now for some big boy evidence, because this guy is proven to have bookmarked CP and Lolicon on his Pixiv account. Pixiv is basically Japanese DeviantArt if you're curious. And you might be thinking, it mustn't be that big of a collection, right? No. The exact number of images bookmarked was 4,573. I'd like to repeat that number. 4,573 pictures of apparently nothing but CP. Then, after being called out on it, he claimed that people were faking these screenshots while slowly but surely unbookmarking all of the lolicon he had saved. Over 4,500 saved photos of anime CP and lolicon drawings is, wild isn't even intense enough of a word, monstrous, absolutely incriminating. This dude, I urge him to get psychiatric help. He also happens to commission artists to draw him grape art. Like art of his OC porking famous characters to even other OCs. But yeah, it's a lot of that kind of art. Like a lot of it. Honestly, it's very concerning. And of course, some of these characters that he chooses to pork in these commissions are either underaged or barely legal. He's also posted this here image on DeviantArt of him behind Android 21 as she says, "Lord Paragon, give me more BGC." She's 10. Well, specifically, she's less than 10, but that doesn't make it any better. That actually makes it a bit worse. And get this, I have one last trick up my sleeve. There's this not safe for work image of Moana he posted on Discord with the caption, "Moana has left her tribe to live her dream of defending the Omniverse. Seeing Paragon completely control and defeat the elements in her universe, she falls madly in love and leaves her tribe to use her powers for purity and justice." So first of all, she has no powers in the first place. Second, this was posted in 2019. And in 2019, there was no Moana 2. That said, she's 16. Upon being confronted about it, he claims it's justified because, let me quote this, "Mana," minor spelling mistake, I win, "released in 2016, the date is 2019, she's 19 by now, GG. Considering the fact that it took them 8 years to make a sequel, and in said sequel she's 19 or 20, I'm inclined to believe that what he said is definitely not how that works. Lock this guy up immediately, and blacklist him from every elementary school, middle school, high school, it doesn't matter. Blacklist him from every school in the country. I hope I made it clear enough that he is a grown man, addicted to minors." Moving on from that, Paragon seems to be a bit racist. And by a bit, I mean an egregious amount of blatant racism. They're not even allegations, it's actually really public. But one would think that, given Paragon is black himself, that he targets white people, right? Wrong, because he's racist to black people more than an Alabama trucker. But how racist is he? Well, now that we're on that topic, I suppose it's high time I tell you what one of his powers are. This specific power is to take the black away from people. Yes, you heard me. The black away. Don't believe me? Look no further than this piece he posted to his Twitter with the caption, Lord Paragon removes the evil, I don't think I could say that, let me improv, evil Black Force Devil Ape Woman Jade from Mirko. I can't take this seriously. Paragon, through his life of training and living in the divine realm with the angels and gods, he discovered many techniques, including the ability to cast out demons akin to techniques like Soul Punisher. I'm surprised that Paragon has apparently never been jumped in his life. But don't worry, he doubles down by continuing with Rumi Usagiyama has the affliction of the evil Black Force purged from her body, and she becomes the pure as snow White Rabbit Mirko. She joins the Pride and leaves the Hero Society to follow her love Lord Paragon to fight a battle greater than that, and it's cut off, but I'm pretty sure that says the Hero Society. I don't think I even need to discuss his racism anymore. I think we can infer something's up. However, he doesn't target just all black people, as he's pretty misogynistic as well. And by pretty misogynistic, best believe I mean a horrendous, virgin-like amount of misogyny. Don't believe me? Well, let's see about these posts on Twitter and Discord. TCH, that woman isn't so big. I'll take her to the chop shop and have her making me breakfast in nothing but an apron and a smile at no time. But okay, buddy, just fanning women with your red flag. But there's way more. It gets to insanity. I told you, women belong on their knees. Either get busy scrubbing the floor or get busy sucking. Yeah, you get the gist. I keep women in the same position, regardless of which plane of existence. Women are like rules. They are made to be broken. All shall bow before me. Women in their proper position before a god named Perfection must have J cups, a juicy basketball booty, nonchalantness. I can't with this guy. Must be a loyal nympho with sky high libido. All whole access 24/7, 365. Can't be a lazy fun time. She gotta be limber and flexible and know how to use her hips and knees. You accept women as sentient beings where they're merely breeding cattle and pleasure instruments. My god, I think he's worse than Andrew Tate. Seriously, it gets to a point of hooliganism. But what happens if you combine these two factors? Get a little fusion hana going. Create a Genki Dama of all the racism and misogyny in the multiverse. Well, you get a laundry list of interesting results, to say the least. Stay away from me and go back to the projects, Keisha, with your myriad of STD, disgusting furry, dark-skinned devil, subhuman women monster lovers. Man, shut up when BWs literally spam the word in their trash raps about how they scam and scheme on N-words with their reproductive organ, or how all hip-hop is about hurting or offing N-words. Get your sensitive butts offline. Dirty black woman demon devils be like, oh, he got a new girlfriend. Let me put on my shoes and head down here to this child support office, Bitter Baby Mama Club. No black woman allowed. Me calling CPS on all black women. This here image says, black be gone. Me if the child is gay or transgender. My goodness, I can't even read this one. That's enough, Mr. Paragon. This guy is in desperate need of a hobby. Like an actual hobby. You can take 10 of the most racist and misogynistic people from every state in America, and they wouldn't even flicker a candle to this guy. Like, it gets to a point, you need your normal pills. And so you've heard it from me. You've all finally seen that I have valid documents and reasoning to believe that Paragon is just a bad and irredeemable person. The man has garbage takes, a garbage character, possibly a garbage love life in real life, and he's even shown to be a garbage person. And the worst thing is, he likes little kids. I hope this guy gets severe psychiatric help. Or whooping. Or a prison sentence. Or all three, I don't care. And so that's why I am inclined to believing that perfection is a natural buttsucker. So with that, it's time to conclude. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, press the like button. If this is a good first impression, you should subscribe to my channel and support me. And make sure to give some feedback and suggestions in the comments. I'd like to hear what you want me to talk about in the future. All said and done, stay kind, stay safe, and most importantly, don't be like this guy. It mustn't be fun, trust me.